Hello, my friends. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. This is Jennifer. As you can see, I am back home again. I had a wonderful retreat with Jules. We went all over Albuquerque and we went thrifting. We went to Hip Stitch where she works a couple of times. I got my scissors sharpened there, which was phenomenal. We did tons of handwork. We didn't really bring machines out except for when I sewed on Linus labels for the quilts that I donated, and I did get to go to her Linus. I don't think I mentioned that in my video last week, but we went to Project Linus together, and it was a joy to get to see her fellow volunteers sharing their quilts and just kind of just absorbing all the creativity and the good vibes, and that was really lovely to do. I did look for Raggedy Ann's or Andy's in every thrift store we went to, and I didn't find a single one, but that's okay. Just a tiny bit of show and tell of my own on the wall here. This is the rainbow fabric on the borders here. This is the rainbow fabric that I bought in Albuquerque. That was from the closing sale that we went to. This fabric that we bought from the closeout sale from the quilt store that we went to, Silva's. I believe they're still going to be doing machine repair. They're just not going to be a full-blown store anymore. So this is Unicorn Dreams by Henry Glass, and possibly the best selvage I've ever seen. I love it. Love it on my Pegasus quilt. It is now the size that I want it to be. I did have to do a little tweaking because I had stretched out my top and bottom borders, the flying geese, a little bit. So I got that fixed, put a border on, and that is going to be in my pile of personal projects to quilt. No idea what I'm going to do with this, but it makes me happy, so I'm going to leave it on the wall for a little while. As I mentioned, we did do handwork while I was there. Some time ago, Jeannie, our own Jeannie's Dreams, gave me her test top for her Silence in the Library quilt, which you can find on Fandom & Stitches. It's from when we did the multi-fandom bookcase in 2021. I think it was 2021. And it was a quilt layout that she created. That is the Silence in the Library. I'm hoping I'm showing you a picture right here. Anyway, so she gave it to me, told me to do whatever I wanted. And when I was going through all my tops, I actually ended up giving it to Jules. So you'll have to watch her video to see the details on that, but it was really fun, and I got to stitch a couple of squares, and it was nice just to sit and chat and do some stitching. So now that we're a few minutes in, I have a tale of two swaps. First, I'm going to show you the swap that I received from the Talk to Me Tuesday swap that we just did. It was a friendship happiness swap, and these were supposed to be wall hangings. I think they're supposed to be 12 to 15 inches. You'd think I'd know I made the rules, but it feels like a year since I wrote that post for our Talk to Me Tuesdayers. So I did receive, and my swap came from Sarah in Houston. You may recognize her name from the slew of charity quilt tops I just finished quilting, because she had given me quite a few. So here is my very happy, very scrappy Talk to Me Tuesday swap. She did a phenomenal job. I love all the scrappy pieces. I love how bright it is. It's super happy. And you can see the quilting better on the back. She did like a diagonal matchstick. And then this I love. So Sarah in Houston, 24. And then she put my initials with a heart, which is fantastic. And I have a space saved on my wall for this quilt. So I'm really excited. It's going to be right in a place where I see it all the time. And she sent me a cat paw print knitted dishcloth with instructions to use it, which is not a problem because I love a knitted dishcloth and I absolutely will use this. There was a little piece of paper in here with this. It says kitty print dishcloth and it has a name on it. I don't know if that means the person made it or if it means that it was her pattern, but either way, I love it and I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. Now I'm gonna let Past Me tell you about the swap that I made. Hello, my friends. I'm coming to you from the past to tell you about my swap. This year we did a friendship / happiness swap for the Talk to Me Tuesday video makers, and it's the first time we've done a swap since 2020. We used to do them pretty much every year, and then 2020 we did one, and then I had 2 surgeries between 2020 and 2022, and then 2023 was a dumpster fire for me. Please see my previous work for that. I talked about it last year. I've been very open about all the stuff that we dealt with last year. And so this year I thought it is time, we need to have another swap. It helps get everyone excited again. We get involved in our video making again. and we had 9 Talk to Me Tuesday video makers sign up for the swap, which was pretty good considering we've had like some drop off. Like we've had some people kind of stop making videos, which you're always welcome to come back. We miss you guys. And we had some people who came back in and made videos so that they could swap, which was really fun. So once everyone signed up, I basically had a Google Doc and it populated a spreadsheet. And I did this like a round robin. So the first person who signed up sends to the second person who signs up, sends to the third person who signs up, and the last person who signs up sends to the first person who signed up. So that is how that worked. It makes it easier for me so that I'm not trying to pair people together because I'm literally friends with everyone. We're all friends with each other. And so that's the most fair way to do it. So my partner who I made for is Jordan. And Jordan is our resident English teacher. I was very excited when I realized that I was going to be sending to her, and my brain just exploded with ideas. It happens that the week that I sent out partners, I was really sick. That's the week I had the really bad head cold, and I basically just plotted for about 3 days. I sketched and I drew and I thought, and then I plundered Jordan's Facebook photos because she's also an artist in addition to all of her other beautiful accomplishments, and she loves opossums. So I found a drawing of an opossum of hers that I incorporated into my work. So she likes tea, Jane Austen, green, purple, and opossums, among other things. She's also a musician, though she didn't list that on her things. So I'm going to start with the back. I did something different on this quilt that I have never done before, which is a facing. I was inspired by Abby to try a facing, so I did do that. So it does not have a binding as such, but the facing is turned to the back. And I did make a little label on my Cricut. It's not that little, it's actually kind of big, but I really wanted all this information on there, so I did that on my Cricut. And it says, Tea with Friends, 2024 TTMT Friendship Swap for Jordan, made with love by Jennifer. And obviously our last names as well. And there's a little tea kettle. And then I did my little pockets. One of the requirements was to have a way to hang your swap. And so I did little pockets. And for the front, guys, I can't tell you how much fun I had making this. I think I was driving Jules insane because I couldn't stop texting her. This is what I made for Jordan. So my idea here was, I know she loves possums and obviously Jane Austen and tea. So this window, and she loves cats. That was included as well. She loves cats. So my idea here was a little scene that incorporated as much of her interest, as many of her interests as I could possibly include. So all of the books have Jane Austen inspired titles, but with a twist. So we have Meowsfield Park, Pride and Prejudice, and Persuasion. And I did recruit my eldest child to help me with these, and they did, which was extremely helpful. This block right here is one of my own patterns from the Project of Dune that I shrink down. Each of these squares is 7 inches, and then 7 inches, 6 inches. I think they're all 6 inches. It's been a couple weeks since I finished this. So anyway, I shrank this down. You can see I did machine embroidery here. And this little possum is based on a drawing that Jordan did. I took her drawing, I basically turned it into a cartoon. I imported it into my Cricut software, and then I cut layers. I cut a background black layer. I cut all the little layers, all the little pieces of ears. The tiny pieces I actually hand cut, but the larger pieces I cut on my Cricut, and this is fused on, and then I quilted it down myself on my domestic machine. The clouds, I actually got these out of EQ8, and I exported them into my embroidery software and exported that into Cricut. So I cut them out with my Cricut, and then I machine embroidered them on my embroidery machine. I used every tool I have except for my serger, I think, to make this. I used my Cricut, I used my embroidery machine, I used my domestic machine. I started on my Juki and then switched to my Singer 301 because I started having problems with that. And I did some of the quilting on my Qnique. You can see got a little tulip pink right there. And I fussy cut the heck out of that to get that green and purple. And then obviously green sashing. And then this, I wanted it to look like wallpaper. So that is why I did the facing, because I only had 4 strips of that fabric and it was barely enough to make this. I had a little tiny piece left over and I wanted it to look like wallpaper, so I didn't want to put binding on top of this, which is why there's a facing. I'm extremely pleased with this. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope Jordan loves it. It's been a long time since I flexed my creative muscles in quite such an interesting manner. I hope Jordan loves it. I had a blast making it, and I can't wait to do another swap. I will link to Jordan's video so you can see her show and tell of her receiving her swap. I'm really happy that you like it so much, Jordan. It was a joy to work on. And finally, last week I said I would have a prize coming up, and this is going to be for anyone who comments on this video on YouTube or on talktometuesday.wordpress.com or sohook.com or Coffee. I post this video everywhere, and then if you comment in one of those places, I will enter you to win into a drawing, and then one of you will win this next week. It's not a big drawing, so I'm just going to do it really fast, so if you comment in the next week, you'll be entered to win. First up is my favorite size ruler for just little things. I use these on binding. I use them on just all kinds of trimming. So the 2.5 and 6.5 inch ruler. I personally have about 4 of these. I picked another one up at Hip Stitch. I paid for this. This is not a sponsored post. And then I have just a few of these little handmade with love tags. These came in something that I thrifted a long time ago. I've been saving them. They're purple. They have like a little cute little border. I think they're adorable, and so that'll be part of this. As always, I have a couple of Talk to Me Tuesday and Fandom in Stitches stickers. I put these in everything because, you know, share the love. You will be getting what I'm calling a long fat quarter of my rainbow fabric. When I cut these sides, I cut them lengthwise. So this is 18 by about 30. So it's a good chunk of fabric for whatever fun thing you want to put it in. And last but not least, this tiny little resin printed sewing machine. My youngest child, who is totally an adult, he got a resin printer and has been making miniatures and stuff for gaming, and I asked him if he would make me some sewing machines, and he did. And I gave Jules the very first one, and you will receive the second one. So again, all you have to do is leave a comment in the on YouTube, Talk to Me Tuesday, So Hooked, or Coffee. Any of those. I think that is it, you guys. I'm happy to be home, sleeping in my own bed, snuggling my cats, but I already miss Jules because I always do. Have a wonderful week. Have a crafty week. I would love to see your video, and I'll see you guys next week. P.S. I will also see you Friday because I have a Raggedy Rescue coming up. Bye.